So over the past couple of days, I took time to watch both versions of The Guilty. The original coming out in 2018 out of Denmark, directed by Gustav Moller, and starring Jacob Cedergren. And of course, the new one that just released on Netflix, directed by Antoine Fuqua, starring Jake Gyllenhaal. Now, I did do things backwards and I watched the Netflix version first, so it was my first time experiencing the story. And I really enjoyed this film. However, when I watched the Danish version, I was like, wait, hold up. They legitimately just copied this movie. This is a thing? Now, I get it. Movies are remade all the time. Generally not this close together. We're looking at a 3-year window here from the original to this new one, but it does happen. That said, I like to think that there's some effort put into the retelling of the story by changing things like some major plot points or characters, or even the technical aspects of how the film is made, like how it's shot. And the 2021 version of The Guilty barely changed anything. I'm honestly not sure how it's possible to say that the writers of these two films are different. They are that similar. When I was in school, I wasn't allowed to copy a classmate's paper and change 5% of it and slap my name on it and just call it mine. I mean, I did it, but I wasn't allowed to. But did I receive a failing grade in the event I got caught? Yes, I did. And that's what this new remake feels like. It feels like a copy-paste of the 2018 film. But in an effort to differentiate it just enough, they modified a few things. All right, so I'm gonna list out the differences for you. Gyllenhaal drank coffee. Cedergren did not. There was this dynamic of the LA fires going on in the American version, which did add a little bit of complexity and stress to the situation that obviously did not exist in the Danish film. Because of those fires, Gyllenhaal had some type of breathing problem and he had an inhaler that he had to use throughout the movie. Cedergren did not. There were some differences in character names because some of the names in the original version are Danish and not names that we use in America, so obviously those were changed. And in the Netflix one, the main character had some family dynamic problems that did not exist in the original. The American film also upgraded the tech of the 911 dispatch office. And that's literally it. You can watch these films back to back yourself, and you will see that the script and plot points are nearly identical. And this really bothered me because it felt like a cheap ripoff. And maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe this happens far more than I know. But every remake I have ever seen deviates enough from the original to feel like a different movie. Sure, the broad story is the same, but they change enough to make it not feel like I'm watching a copied version or just moderately upgraded version of the original movie. They literally could have just put an image of Gyllenhaal's face on top of Cedergren from the original film and had Gyllenhaal do voiceover and called it good, which honestly is legitimately what it feels like they did. Okay, after having said all of that, if you've never seen the Danish film and you don't feel like reading subtitles, you'll probably still enjoy this movie. The story is really good. It's very suspenseful and it will have you on the edge of your seat. Gyllenhaal's performance is also, unsurprisingly, really good. Everything I've said up to this point is not an attempt to discount Gyllenhaal's performance, because it was great, but just changing the main actor of the film wasn't enough for me to make this stand out as anything different from the original. At the end of the day, I feel like a grumpy old English teacher who can clearly tell that one of my students copied off of another one and tried to turn the work in as their own. And now I understand why teachers don't like that. Do your own work, kids. So this Netflix version is a 2.5 star for me, but I did give the 2018 film 4 stars. You should check that one out. Hey, check them both out and come back and tell me if I'm a crazy person or if you agree with the points I've made here. That's gonna do it for me. I hope you all have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.